first, because I really want to know, how did you find out you were a dismissive avoidant? And just explain to the people that, like, what that is and how you found out that that's who you were in your attachment.
Well, I mean, for me, I think it was probably almost 2 years ago that I actually found out. When obviously I was doing just research around just different topics around psychology, when I was doing some videos for, I think, Ready to Love at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was researching it, I came across this attachment theory, but I didn't really understand it, if I'm really honest with you. So I started reading it, and I saw obviously the different attachment styles, and I was like, started reading it, and I think it was on Psychology Today, and then Very Well Mind as well, which are really good sites as well. And I started reading it, and I was like, ooh, this sounds like me a little bit. I can't lie to you. This sounds like me, where I'm seeing some of the traits that the people exhibit, that I do exhibit some of those traits. And so I dived a bit deeper. I got the Audible. I went to research attachment theory, and then I kind of was like, okay, I think I'm a dismissive avoidant. I think the way that I operate, the way I looked at my past relationships, I could tell that something wasn't quite right, which is why on Dear Future Wifey, I spoke about this with Latirius. I said, listen, I got a kill switch. I don't know why, but I have a kill switch. Like, after 2 years, it feels like I'm on the ready to go. And I didn't realize I was a self-saboteur, but so obviously when I looked at it, I was like, okay, now I understand. Okay, I've got language to fit what I'm actually feeling, because a lot of the times I actually didn't even have the language to really encapsulate what I actually felt, or what was going on within me. I just knew I was disconnected. And I remember years back, as you said, you're spiritual, I'm a Christian as well. So my sister said to me, you feel more pain than anybody in this family. And I was like, nah. No. I don't know, because I was so numb.
Accurate,
you know what I mean?
Not accurate.
I was like, not even as accurate. But I said, but then something hit me. I was like, maybe she's right though, because I don't attach to my pain. I was very numb for a very long time, because my mum was schizophrenic from a very young age, from about age 12. My dad obviously is African dad, but African dads can be we put food on the table, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and he didn't have a dad, so he's doing the best that he can do. So when he's obviously coming with me, but I also realized that I talk about a lot of my dad in terms of my relationship with him, but I have to also realize that whatever he was not, my mum would have also felt that. So whatever caregiving I'm getting from my mum too, that's also going to affect. See, so if you're dismissive avoidant, you have your intermittent behaviors that you kind of move with. That's also going to affect the wife that you're with. That's going to also affect the mother she's going to be for you. So I'm not saying my mum was bad. My mum was excellent. She was more anxious, but the reality of the situation was, I would have picked it up as a child as well. So yeah, it was a couple of years ago that I kind of realized that. And when I did, I realized, I was like, okay, I got to be honest. There's something wrong with me, because when it comes to feelings, and this is my last point, and I said this with Latirius as well, one of my other girlfriends a couple of years ago, I remember I told her, I said, listen, if you go, I don't care. If you leave, I don't care. Listen, I was trying to get ahead of the devil. I just wanted to make sure that she knew that, listen, if you go, I don't need you, because I was feeling vulnerable, because I did care about her. I did love her. Okay. And that made me feel too vulnerable, because after my relationship before then, that relationship was very, I don't even want to say even toxic, because it wasn't even that crazy toxic. It was more, we were kids and we were young. So I knew something was not quite right, but I wasn't all the way there. Then this relationship, I was like, no, when I go into this, no one can play me. No one's going to get one up on me. No one's doing that. So I'm letting her know from the jump what it is. If you leave, you go, I'll be all right. I'll be good. But I was always preempting that. And a lot of my behaviors were not according, if I'm honest with you. Yeah. I was afraid.
No. But deep down inside, now you were saying that, but deep down inside, were you conscious of how you were actually feeling outside of what you were saying?
Yeah, I remember one time, and God forgive me, at this time I really was trying to be with Jesus and trying to do the best thing I could probably do. But you get into the hanky panky, and so we get into the hanky panky, we were being intimate in ways we probably shouldn't have been before you know what I mean? And because of that, I remember a lot of times after we would have sex, and I want to be real with people here, so I don't want to lie. Yeah. After we would have sex, I felt this vulnerability that I couldn't explain. Like, I felt like I was exposed, and I felt like I had a wash of all these emotions that I was starting to feel, and I didn't know how to handle that. I was like, because it made me feel like I was weak, because the way I associated was emotions are weakness. Even, and if anybody's can identify with this, even happy emotions have a limit for me. It's like I can get joyful, but to a limit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't get too happy now, because things might go a bit. You know, you have to be ready. You always have to be ready for the disappointment, because that's what dismissive avoidance tend to kind of face a lot of times. That as a child, you're emotionally neglected. Whether your parents meant to do it or not, whether they were meant to be, maybe they were abusive or not, parents can inadvertently neglect you as a child emotionally. And because I learned that my needs will never be met as a child, I was like, well, emotionally, by the way, I was like, when I get into relationships, I stuffed all that emotion down, because it's not good for my survival. So when I get a woman that is now pulling that out of me, no, you're being manipulative, because you're pulling that out of me. How are you doing that? You've got too much power. And if you've got that much power, you can now hurt me. And if you can hurt me, that leaves me vulnerable. No. So after sex, I would always feel this vulnerability. I'd be like, I don't like that. You know? So, yeah.
So what would you do?
Have you ever experienced that?
Pull away? Would you pull away?
Yeah, in a sense, yes. I'd create distance. So I would create distance. So I would be like, so it would be like, I would go cold. So like after sex, I'll be like, I'll just go cold. I just like, don't touch me. I'm good. Like, I need a good few days to like recover. You know what I mean? Before I can really be open again.
Like after?
Was she still around after?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we weren't staying together, so we were in my separate house.
I'm saying, like, you guys, the relationship remained.
Oh, I mean, it remained, but, you know, I found out when you keep playing around what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I found out. But yeah, she did stay for a little while. You know what I'm saying to you? She did stay for a while, because I think she was more anxious. So it worked in my favor, because when I did pull away, when I stonewalled, when I, in a sense, kind of create a distance, she would then pull in. So it worked in my favor. Yeah, it worked in my favor. So I won't lie to you. It was a power thing. With dismissives, it is always a power thing, because we don't want you having the power over us. That's how it feels like. It feels like you're pulling me into something, and that I can't have, because I lost power when I was a child. I'm not about to lose it as an adult too. So I'm going to control the narrative.
That's so good. That's so good. I'm sorry. That's so good. That's so good. Okay. I wish I could pin that somewhere. Y'all, so I wanna go through some of the traits, like as I was talking about it, and I know that Kojo went through it eloquently earlier, but just for people that are joining now, because there's more people on now than there was before. Secure, there's some things that I saw online, just very quickly, is healthy boundaries. They have mutual trust and support. They have control, conflict resolution. This is just very broad categories, guys. Dismissive avoidant is avoids intimacy and vulnerability, as Kojo just eloquently stated. Commitment issues, guarded and closed heart. Kojo just very much described that to a T. Anxious is a fear of abandonment, need for constant validation, dependent on partner for self-worth. That's anxious. And then there's fearful avoidant, which is fear of rejection, hard time trusting and relying on partner, and low self-esteem. I'm also going to read the other ones from before, as he stated before. I forgot her name. He said Anne. Forgot her. What was the last name he said? Anne Wilsworth.
Oh, Mary Ainsworth.
Mary Ainsworth. She changed it up. But there's some other things here, but it's like secure is confident, reciprocal, non-reactive, and resilient. Anxious, preoccupied is emotional hunger, which is anxious attachment style. Fantasy bond, lack of nurturing, turbulence. Anxious attachment style is a lot. Oh, thank you, Little Black Book, for that. Quiz for attachment styles. Perfect. Fearful avoidant, internal conflict, dramatic, unpredictable, ambivalence. Yeah, we'll get into that, because that's where I fall on this daggone spectrum. I hate it, but it is what it is. And then dismissive avoidant is isolation, ambiguity, ambivalence, emotionally distant. So I thank you for that. And for those who are just joining, he's dismissive, and he talks about being dismissive on his channel a lot, which I really respect. But he be talking about the fearful avoidant, and I felt like, wait, hold up. Let me walk up in there, because Let me move right back in there because I'm definitely fearful avoidant. If you guys don't know, because I am somebody that I have struggled. I'm open about this. People may not know this about me, but I've always struggled with wanting to feel good enough. That's always been a thing for me. Am I good enough? Am I good enough? Am I good enough? And because you're kind of afraid of not being good enough, or being rejected or hurt or any of those types, betrayed, just because of different traumas in your life or things that have occurred, you push away before somebody has the ability to harm you, and so you leave before you're ultimately really, really hurt. And people call it a runner. You might say, "Oh, I'm a runner." That's a fearful avoidant. Welcome to the club. It's just when I call it trigger happy. I know we're on the YouTube space, but it means when we feel a trigger, we ready to go. We lace the sneakers up and we ready to run up out of there, because we're not one of those people that when we're experiencing when we see any type of red flag or any type of threat, we're on guard. We're ready to move. We're ready to eliminate our presence from anything that seems like it's going to be a threat. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become framily, okay? Friends that are family. Okay, join my family today.